So I'm Chuck Calio, I work for IBM. I'm the offering manager for Neo4j on Linux on Power. We got into working with Neo4j as really one of the 4 NoSQL databases categories that we got into as a modern data platform for our customers who want NoSQL databases. But we're quite pleased over time to see the evolution of Neo4j on Linux on Power. We actually now even use Neo4j to design our next generation Power hardware, and then we run Neo4j on our hardware, and we use those results to re-optimize Neo4j. And now we have acceleration technology for Neo4j on Linux on Power that will optimize graph algorithms. So we're super excited about that as one of the next steps in this relationship. So we like to have this little joke where we're recursive. We keep calling each other. But I will tell you, I've managed a lot of vendor relationships in my role at IBM. Neo4j is a great partner, and they have a lot of good products. Really high level of client interest in graph in general, and Neo4j is the #1 graph provider. So that's why we're really close to Neo4j. In terms of our engineering partnership, really strong to work with in terms of that. We have a good executive partnership. So across the board, very good partnership. Chose Neo4j to work with that. In terms of graph in general, very high growth solution by itself, but also from IBM, we're interested in cognitive and AI. And one of the linkages that we see in the future is the linkage between Neo4j Graph and cognitive AI solutions, machine learning, deep learning, and those kinds of things. So we have a real big vision of the future of these both high-value solutions running well together, optimized deeply. Really a very bright future for both companies. We use Neo4j to design the chips that go into Power 9 and also our System Z. So chips are really gate logic, switching logics. And at the end of the day, if you conceptualize that, it's a graph. It's a path forward through logic and that kind of thing. Previously, we used relational database technology. Really slow, it took too long to change, all that kind of stuff. Now we use graph technology from Neo4j. So we actually use Neo4j software to design the next generation of our hardware chips. Then we ran Neo4j on that hardware, and we were able to do some traces and identify areas where we could redesign and optimize Neo4j. And then in this new field in hardware called acceleration, which we're all very interested in, we have the ability with our coherent accelerator processor interface, CAPI, coherent accelerator processor interface, to use that to accelerate Neo4j graph algorithms, which is the next growth area as far as we're concerned. To me, I think the future of graph will be more with AI. That's my opinion. I think the use of graph to feed AI, artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, in many cases feature extraction, for example, is difficult to do, especially with large data sets. I think in general, cybersecurity, anything in cybersecurity is ultra hot right now, so sort of leading edge technology for cybersecurity. Clearly master data management across the board, not just in the scenario of AI, is important. Recommendations are always good to have, recommendation engine. An area I'm fascinated in is dynamic pricing. Now we can use graph technology to do that. I think that that's really one of the things that could fundamentally change the business. So just as an example, I think dynamic pricing, I think, is a really exciting use case for that. Neo4j is a great company to partner with. Really, from an IBM standpoint, I'd like to thank them for being such a great partner. And I know that their future is going to be really high growth and very important for them to be out there across the globe with these high-value solutions that they provide.